A warm good morning to all of you. We are going to begin the International Cooperation Conclave as a part of Global Ayurveda Festival 2023. On behalf of Global Ayurveda Festival, I request our chief guest for the International Cooperation Conclave, Mr. K.R. Kanchana, Secretary to the Minister of Indigenous Minister, Sri Lanka, to the dais. Sir, please. I request Mr. K.R. Kanchana, Secretary to the Indigenous Minister, Sri Lanka, to the dais. I request Dr. P.M. Warrior, Managing Trustee, Cortical, Guest of Honor of this function, to the dais. Sir, please. I also request Mr. Peter Hobwani, Deputy to Ambassador, Embassy of the Republic, Zimbabwe, to the dais. I request Mr. Lasha Jaffersey, CDA, Embassy of Georgia, and Mr. Elia Sevutia, Second Secretary, High Commissioner of Republic of Fiji, to the dais. Now I invite Dr. G.G. Gangadharan, Working Chairman, Global Ayurveda Festival, to deliver the welcome address for the International Cooperation Conclave.
A warm good morning to all of you. We are extremely happy to have the inaugural session of International Cooperation Conclave, an important component of Global Ayurveda Festival. The purpose of this conclave is to synergize the work that is happening globally elsewhere, and also to see that the things that are happening and let us connect it together so that we can think about having an alliance of an international stature as an outcome of this process. We have been trying, we have contacted around 75 countries where Ayurveda is active in one way or other. And you know, there are more than 8 countries in Southeast Asian region where Ayurveda is almost actively practiced and can be legally registered. There are about 30 countries where Ayurveda is known one way or other, or products are available, products are able to be used. And there are countries where Ayurvedic herbs are being utilized. So there are so many bottlenecks that is happening because of strategic policy decisions that are lacking. We thought it is our humble effort to make sure that how this lacunae can be to some extent corrected, or some initiatives towards that direction can be started. So we are extremely happy that people who have responded and are here. And I am extremely happy to welcome Mr. Gaya Kanchana, the Secretary of Health Minister, and Dr. P. Hevagamaga and C.K.E. Kanayage and Dr. Kangaria of these countries, which have been explained by our coordinator. And I am also happy that Dr. P.M. Warrior is the co-chairing this session. I am sure the session will lead to ideas that will help us to go ahead with this cooperation between the countries bilaterally and multilaterally. Thank you. And I welcome all of you, the delegates, come from different parts of the world, and from India who have taken time. Because of the different sessions happening in at least 8 to 10 hours, only people who are interested in cooperation conclave are invited to be here. I hope we will have a fruitful discussion and fruitful outcomes. Thank you. Namaskar.
I request Mr. G.R. Kanchana, Secretary to the Indigenous Minister Sri Lanka, to deliver the inaugural address. Sir, please.
Honorable Minister of Law and Industry, Mr. P. Rajiv, I think he is not here now. Actually, as a Secretary of the State Minister of Indigenous Medicine and the Managing Director of the Ayurveda Drug Corporation of Sri Lanka, I express my heartfelt best wishes for the 5th Global Ayurveda Festival at Kerala, with the focal theme of emerging challenges in healthcare and research. On behalf of the State Minister of Indigenous Medicine, Ministry of Health in Sri Lanka and the government. Although my Honorable Minister is not in this stage today, I would like to inform that the Indigenous Medicine System of Sri Lanka and the Ayurveda Medicine System of Sri Lanka in Kerala is very close and similar. There are many similarities between the people of Kerala and the people of Sri Lanka, like physical appearances, dietary patterns, clothing, religious and medical practices, etc. The Honorable Minister Sisira Jayakodi and your best friend Dr. Dhammika Abegunawardena, Ayurveda Commissioner General, are not representing today because of budget proposals has been debating in the parliament in Sri Lanka. They must be there, so they stayed there. So they asked me to come and address to you. I'm happy to announce that as a country, we have given official representation for the previous 4 global Ayurveda festivals, and this is the 5th time Sri Lankan special delegation team has come. I believe, as previous GAPs, this International Forum of GAP 2023 will fulfill its aim to convincingly position Ayurveda healing potentials by showcasing its conceptual foundation and infinite applications of possibilities by reaching out the health-seeking global mankind. And by reading young physicians addressing emerging healthcare challenges, as well as it will facilitate a research-based forum for well-accomplished researchers, academicians, physicians, traditional medicine practitioners, herbal drug manufacturers and exporters of Ayurveda for research-based studies through the international seminar, Cooperation Conclave, Ayurveda Innovation Conclave, National Ayurveda Fair, International B2B Meeting, and Ayurveda Wellness and Medical Tourism B2B meetings. As a nation, we have been very fortunate to have a rich heritage of traditional medicinal knowledge which has been practiced over 5,000 years according to the ancient legends and continued and contribute addressing health challenges. Sri Lanka being a country which rich biodiversity and cultural biodiversity and diverse communities which were caused to well-developed traditional beliefs, traditional medicinal knowledges and practices in the country in sustainable manner. On this occasion, I salute the Indian government and people led by Honorable Prime Minister Sri Narendra Modi on behalf of Sri Lanka because of the contribution given when Sri Lanka was economically unstable. Before concluding my speech, I would like to impress. Ayurveda medicine is ingrained in our blood. Evidence-based research is needed to carry it into the modern world. Also, Sri Lanka is always ready to join hands with you for research and development purposes. I would like to invite reputed pharmaceutical companies in the state of Kerala and all over the India to enter Sri Lankan indigenous pharmaceutical market, since we have opened the venues to raw and finished materials as well as services. And if you can start actually factories and establishment of hospitals, private Ayurveda hospitals in Sri Lanka, you all are very welcome and ready to facilitate your aspects. Concluding my speech, again, adding my heartfelt greetings, all of you, and congratulations on your well-deserved success. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. Now I request Mr. Peter Hubani, Deputy Ambassador of Republic Zimbabwe. Sir, please come over to the dais and I request you to deliver your speech. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you, yes. I first of all, of course, want to confirm that I'm from the Embassy of Zimbabwe, based in New Delhi, but coming from Zimbabwe. As Zimbabwe and Africa, of course, we all recognize that traditional medicine is not something new. So I'm pleased and feel honored to have been invited to this 5th Global Ayurvedic conference, because sharing of the link between traditional and modern medicine is something which we in Africa have been waiting for a long time. As I say, traditional medicine has been there in Africa, in Zimbabwe, but the challenge has always been to develop it and let it come into the mainstream of medical treatment. About 2 months ago, I also attended the Advantage Health Summit that took place in Gandhinagar, where also it coincided with the holding of the International Summit on Traditional Medicine, which was inaugurated by the Director General of the United Nations. So there also there was that emphasis of the need to link traditional medicine with modern medicine. And of course, Ayush is increasingly becoming maybe the future of medicine. And as Zimbabwe, actually we have recognized the leadership of India in this regard. And we have an MOU on Ayush so that we can also exchange views and also help gain technology that helps us develop our traditional medicine and turn it into modern medical practices. And actually the challenge in Africa has always been how to also use and patent our own traditional medicine and make it recognized. Because what has been happening since colonial periods is that the traditional medicine that we have known for thousands of years was actually being sometimes taken by scientists who come as if they want to investigate about the medicine, and then they end up going back and patenting that medicine and then selling back to us at maybe 5 or 10 times the price. So we welcome forums like this because they help actually exchange of countries that also want to develop their traditional medicine into modern medicine, gain that expertise. So I look forward to also the exchange of views at this forum so that I can also maybe write reports to my country about this important development. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, sir. Now, I request Mr. Lasha Japadas, Embassy of Georgia, to speak a few words. Thank you, sir.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I represent Georgia through the embassy based in New Delhi. First of all, let me thank the organizers for organizing such an interesting event, which is regarding very promising direction in the field of medicine. I'm really honored and privileged to be able to attend the inauguration of this fifth Ayurveda Global Conference. I would like to underline from my side that we in Georgia really attach great importance to discovering, exploring much more this field of medicine, Ayurvedic products. We are also very much interested to have Ayurvedic products on our market, to have also some exchanges at the level of experts, doctors, to have some visits, also some road shows, in order to raise the awareness in Georgia among the Georgian population. Because there is a very high interest from our side and very big demand on the innovations, on the traditional ways of medicine, on the new approaches, new visions, and in this regard, of course, India is a leading country. India can offer a lot. India is in the avant-garde of these developments. Generally speaking, I would say that we also are trying to establish more direct cooperation and links with the Ministry of Health and Family Welfare of the Indian Republic. We also have a memorandum of understanding on cooperation, which is pending under consideration, and we hope to have it signed in the near future. And also a very important factor is that for further exchanges of experts, doctors, and representatives of medical field, now we have more possibilities also through direct air connectivity. It's not so difficult to reach Georgia from India and vice versa, because since August we have direct flights between our countries. Indigo is flying 2 times a week from New Delhi to my capital city. So on the map, you might think that our countries and nations are far from each other, but reality is different. We are much closer now. In 5 hours, you can reach my country from New Delhi. So this is another very good additional possibility and impetus, which will boost our cooperation also in the field of medicine. So I would like to conclude on this optimistic note my remarks, and once again, thank you very much for organizing the event and for having us today with you. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. Now, I request Mr. Ilya Sutyuva, Second Secretary, High Commission of Republic of Fiji, to speak over. Come over, sir. Thank you so much.
Bulubinaka. My name is Ilya Sutyuva from the Fiji High Commission. We are based in New Delhi. It's an honor to be here to attend this very interesting forum. I'm here to learn as much as I can. Very interested in this forum because I was sharing with my colleagues just a few months ago. I was healed for undergoing Ayurveda treatment in New Delhi. So I can attest that of the Ayurveda medicine of its significant. For the government of Fiji, our Minister of Health is now trying to formalize through cabinet the introduction of Ayurveda medicine into Fiji. When this happens, it not only assist us in Fiji, but the other 14 countries that are around us, Pacific Island countries. We have quite a number of our nationals that are visiting India or at India at the moment to undergo Ayurveda treatment. And we also have some of our students that have learned here and they are now practicing in some of the hospitals here. As an island nation, Fiji value traditional medicines. This is an area that has been strengthened by the government of collecting data from villages around the 330 islands of Fiji. Some of the knowledge has lost throughout the years, and we are now collecting those knowledge to be used in Fiji. I would like to take this opportunity to thank the host, the government of Kerala, for inviting us to be here. And I wish all the participants all the best. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, sir. Now, to conclude the remark, I call upon Warrior Sir, the Managing Trustee of Cortical. Sir, please come over to the dais. Thank you.
Dignitaries on the dais and off the dais, and my dear friends, a very good morning to one and all. I thank the organizers to allowing me to speak some in this international cooperation conclave. As all of us know, Ayurveda is an ancient science. It is originated in India, and even though it is originated in India, it can be used for the healthcare in the healthcare sector throughout the world. We have a hospital since 1954, where at any given time there will be around 70% of the inmates are foreign individuals. Ayurveda describes the Swasthavrta, that means the regimen for the healthy individuals and regimen for the diseases, that means the patients. It describes also as a part of the health maintenance, there are different climatic conditions. There are 6 ritus mentioned in the text, which is not practically seen in Kerala, but we can see throughout India. The same way in the world also, these climatic conditions can be observed, and depending on the directions to perform the purificatory or samana chikitsa, which can be performed, will definitely add to the health of the people. And here now a lot of medicines are also exported to other countries, and many countries have approved Ayurveda as one of the system for healthcare. But many countries are trying to, or on the way to approve Ayurveda as a medical system. A lot of patients require, and they even through communication, they request to come to their country and open our centers. But there are some regulatory aspects which is beyond our control. But even then, those people come to India, especially in Kerala, for their maintenance of their health. So what I see is that there is a lot of scope for international cooperation in this field, and definitely if we try together, it will be achievable. We have this Global Ayurveda Festival, and in the same way, there is World Ayurveda Congress happening once in 2 years. This will give a chance for all of us to interact and exchange our ideas. And I wish this Global Ayurveda Festival and this international conclave all the best. And with this, I conclude my words. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much. I request PM Warrior sir to present memento to Chief Guest Mr. K.R. Kanchana. I request PM Warrior sir to give memento to Mr. Peter Hopani, Deputy Ambassador, Embassy of the Republic, Zimbabwe. I request to present memento to Mr. Lasha Japanese, CDA, Embassy of Georgia. I request her to present memento to Elias Sebutia, Second Secretary, High Commission of Republic of Fuji. Now I request Dr. Gigi Gengaran to present memento to Dr. PM Warrior sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you. By this, we are concluding the inaugural session. We are moving forward to the technical session within 10 minutes. The first session is about the regulatory aspects in different countries. We will begin in 10 minutes. We are beginning the technical session. I would like to call to the dais the chair of the session, Regulatory Aspects in Different Countries, Dr. Nitin Agrawal from Bliss Ayurveda, to the dais. I request the co-chair, Dr. P.M. Unikrishnan, Professor, University of Transdisciplinary Health Science and Technology, to the dais. I request the speakers, Dr. Charles Nicolate, President, Federation of Medicine and Therapy in Ayurveda, Chancellor, Swiss Med School, to dais. I invite Dr. Sindhija Sosa, Researcher, Complementary Medicine, University of Latvia, to the dais. I invite the speaker, Dr. Saifullah Khalid Adamji, Senior in Charge of for Licensing and Medical Policies, Sharjah Health Authority, to the dais. I invite Dr. Syal Kumar, HOD, Traditional Indian Medicine, Germany, to the dais. Now I invite Dr. Dilip Ghosh, NutriConnect, Australia, to the dais. I also invite Dr. Komal Chandra Radhakisan, University of Technology, Mauritius, to the dais. So the International Cooperation Conclave sessions are designed as three sessions. First one now we are going to have is the regulatory aspects in different countries. So this session deals with the global scenario regulations where Ayurveda is having, and the next session is about the global scope and challenges, which will be held in the same auditorium in the afternoon, and the last session is the Global Ayurveda Alliance Meet, the way forward. So I request our first speaker, Dr. Charles Nicolate, to present his.
Okay, good. Good morning, everybody, Excellencies of Kerala and all the invited countries, dear Dr. Gangadharan, officials, delegates, students, chairs, co-chairs. I'm happy to be here from Switzerland to give you some facts and insights about the regulatory status in Switzerland, and also give some more general facts about where we are in this regulatory, very important question actually. We have been blessed in a certain manner in Switzerland because already in 2009, popular votation made it possible to have complementary alternative medicines accepted, legally accepted into the health system through the best way it can be, actually the Constitution. You may know that in Switzerland, any citizen can provoke national votation to introduce a new article in the Constitution. It was the case at that time that a lot of people in Switzerland wanted complementary and alternative medicines to be officially possible, accepted, having diplomas, having people practicing it legally. When you do that process in Switzerland, you have to suggest a future constitutional article. It happens that it might be sometimes a bit too idealistic. So then in the votation, it's a no, because you know that Swiss people are quite conservative and consensus people, so we don't want to shake the system. But when the topic is quite real, and it was the case already in 2009 in Switzerland, it becomes potentially dangerous for the system if a too idealistic article or wish comes to shake the system. And then what happens, it's also a procedure, a legal procedure, that is the parliament can suggest or propose a counter article, another proposal. If this proposal, which is commonly more suitable from the legal point of view, is enough satisfying for the initiative people, then, and that was what happened in 2009, they retire the idealistic text and then all the population votes on an already accepted text by the stakeholders of the system. That is the way through which Ayurveda came in officially in Switzerland in 2009. Then other events came in, and in the next years. One was a decision of a Swiss High Court telling that the traditional medicine would not have to prove their efficiency anymore related to the modern system, but only related to their own references, which was also a huge opening. Then, in 2014, a decree of Swiss government, of Ministry of Health, recognized alternative and complementary medicines and disciplines as no longer having to give proof of their efficiency. So we're not speaking about products, but we're speaking about the practice itself. And finally, in 2015, the Parliament made a revision of the law on therapeutic products, again accepting that complementary and therapeutic products related to these complementary medicines would be eased to access officially as being medicine products. This is actually a regulation. This is recognition. And I would underline this, that despite the fact that in Nepal, Sri Lanka, Pakistan, Bangladesh, United Arab Emirates, Oman, Saudi Arabia, Bahrain, Malaysia, Mauritius, Hungary, Serbia, Tanzania, Cuba, Brazil, and Switzerland, where Indian government and stakeholders and the Ayurvedic people consider that these countries have accepted and recognized Ayurveda, the recognition itself is not always the same. Actually, in Switzerland, we have the chance to be the only country where Ayurveda and complementary medicines are rooted in the highest legal text, which is Constitution. It makes a long evolution possible, and that is the other important point. Recognition is not a one-day fact. Recognition is a very long evolution. Then, even in Switzerland, even with all these recognition level and quality of legal and constitutional work, it's still difficult today, because the facts are that once recognition is officially done, you have to apply, you have to improve, you have to make it concrete. Even today, I would say only today, only now, after all these years, 20 years of work, 10 years of legal acceptance, or maybe 15 years, close to, practitioners are only few. Schools, as we do with Swiss Med schools, are very few, delivering an enough good level program to make it possible that Swiss people or foreign people out of India would be real Ayurvedic practitioners with the real knowledge. For the products, it is the same. It's a long way. Let me tell you who are the Swiss people. We are mercenaries. You might know that in the Middle Age, 15th to 18th century, Swiss soldiers were very renowned and huge warriors. Why? Because in Switzerland we don't have anything but ourselves. We don't have resources, so we have the only chance to exist wider than the country being at the service. In that sense, being at the service, the Swiss system, the Swiss people, and the Swiss regulatory example, model, can be taken by many countries and can be also a kind of model for going outside India for example, Ayurvedic products. I would add that, in a way, Swiss people must be and are quite humble, because when you're at the service, you depend on others' resources, on others' products. In that way, in the Ayurvedic field, in Switzerland, we depend, the world actually, on Ayurveda from India. And what India can give to the world with Ayurveda is huge, we know that. But to make it possible, we must understand that recognition is not acceptance, is not tolerance. Some European countries, which are not on the list considered by India as having recognized Ayurveda, like Italy, like Germany, have a lot of Ayurvedic practitioners. But these practitioners or these actors have a lot of difficulties, especially for the products, but also for the practice in a certain way. And they are able to do what they do because of a certain level of tolerance. And tolerance can be also an already done part of the health system that allows something else than modern medicine, for example, like in Germany. but it doesn't mean that it is recognized. So, until a certain point, acceptance or tolerance is not interesting. Why? Because when you have only tolerance, it means that one day or another, someone will come to you and remind you that you're only tolerated and you're not in the system, you're not official, you're not recognized. It can be regarding the insurance reimbursement, can be regarding the practice itself, etc. Let me tell you some Sanskrit words, and I would apologize because I'm a lawyer and I'm not a Sanskrit doctor, sorry, an Ayurvedic doctor, so I might not pronounce everything rightly, but listen to that. Lasuna, Katmi, Saurashtri, Sathava, Karamegha, Anisuna, Takola, Puga, Hingu, Kushta, Vatsha, Krishna Jiraka, Lavanga, Mandukaparni, Haritaki, Tvak, Dhanyaka, Kunkuma, Talimuli, Harida, Mushta, Bring Garajara, Tailaparna, Mishreya, Pushkara, Atasi, Yashti, Mahanimba, Tatipala, Marika, Pipali, Bakuli, Mulaka, Manjista, Svetan Chandana, Patanga, Svatapatri, Kokshura, Methi, Shunti, Adraka. Did you count them? 41. 41 plants. What is this? I'm quite proud to give you this very sensitive and very important information for the ones who don't know. The 1st of Jali of 2023, quite new actually, Swiss Medic, which is the Swiss FDA, officially accepted these plants as medicine plants in Switzerland, which means that for now, formulas containing these plants or these plants themselves can be imported and can be sold very officially as medical products in Switzerland, which is a game-changing situation. How did it happen? It happened because of cooperation between Swiss government and Indian government working to achieve this. But it's not the only fact, it's not only 41 plants, it's more than that. Actually, the Swiss FDA had for a long time already recognized a long list of Chinese plants. These lists have been now split in 2 departments, one for Chinese, one for Ayurveda. And these 41 plants are only the first ones to be officially accepted. The next steps will come easily, if we can say, because beside of this, FDA recorded officially all 202 pharmacopoeial monographs and 985 formulary specific formulations in Ayurveda as being in an official list to be analyzed and recognized, which is totally crazy itself. So, what does it mean? It means that Switzerland is again, which is surprising itself. Actually, Switzerland is close to 9 million citizens, 9 million inhabitants, and is being, against all odds, kind of opening gate for Ayurveda worldwide for a country of 1.4 billion people, which is a bit surprising itself. But as I told you, we're mercenaries, so we're at the service. And you can actually consider that Switzerland could be a gate to Europe and a gate to modern Europe in the sense of the model of what Switzerland have been able to recognize officially. And from that point, another very important thing to know is that all Swiss regulatory achievements are compatible and are following Ayush and WHO guidelines. What does it mean? And this will be my conclusion. It means that being a pioneer is good, is nice, but cooperation means everybody should drive it under a same scheme, a same process, and the same objectives and the same rules and the same guidelines. What happens commonly in countries who are fighting to make Ayurveda being recognized? You have Ayurvedic stakeholders, local ones, who fight between themselves actually to know who would be right to show the right way to do it. That's a shame, because the counterparts then say what? Say, okay, when you will be in accordance, come back. What's the effect? The wall to pass over, to come into the official health system is higher than, and the time will be longer. But the time should not be an obstacle. The time should be a friend to build things. So, as mercenaries and Swiss people, we're at disposal to Ayurveda to make what is possible to convey it in a proper way to be recognized worldwide. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Dr. Charles, for your inputs. Anyway, as the chair of this program, let me start with this. So first of all, Namaste Kerala. Yes. So this is a very special session where I would like all our esteemed speakers, if they can be more precise about the regulatory aspects of Ayurveda in different countries or in their respective countries, and what they expect also from the government of India to pursue the cases with respective governments. And so I just put forward some keynotes, because today this whole meet is basically to bring forward all the points that needs to be emphasized by the government of India as well as respective governments in different countries of the world. Like we also, as a manufacturer and exporter of Ayurveda products, we have a certain experience of last 15-16 years that what actually the problems that we as an industry as well as Ayurveda fraternity face all over the world. So the regulatory aspects for this session, as we are talking about, is not an easy affair. What is happening that, for example, if we are trying to register Ayurveda products in Europe, Russia, CIS countries, Latin America, or in US, then in most of these countries, we first of all face the problem that they don't recognize Ayurveda as system of medicine. So all the products that go there is basically going there as either herbal food supplements or dietary supplements. Yes, some countries for example, Hungary or there are few other countries that recognizes that. But again, it's more on the very superficial level. It's not when you go deeper into it. Even if you get a recognition as medicine, then who will recommend these products? Have we trained doctors? Have we trained enough health professionals? So these are all the challenges that we as Ayurveda fraternity face. Because unless and until we create an environment in the whole country that this is Ayurveda and this is a system of knowledge and medicine which will bring a qualitative difference in your health, in the health of the society, the health of the nation. Unless until we get this information down to the general population, to the medical fraternity, to the health professional community, yoga community, alternative medicine community, we will not achieve those milestones that we intend to achieve. What is happening? Yes, the governments on the political level, they come together. The honorable ambassadors are also here listening to this. They sign the memorandum of understanding. Okay, we will do it. But all those files, unfortunately, are shelved in the ministries because there is not much general intent or intention, or I would say in general interest also of the people who are decision makers to implement Ayurveda as the system of medicine, or at least as a system of alternative medicine in their countries. It has to come from within the society. So we as Ayurvedic fraternity and all of you people coming from all over the globe has a responsibility that we need to create more and more awareness among the people of the countries about Ayurveda and about this knowledge of Ayurveda in the language where the general population is able to understand. We cannot start with crude language. We cannot start with purely classical language to them, because that will create no interest for them. That will create kind of a first blockade. So it is very important that we talk to them in the very initial languages so that the interest is created. So what are the challenges, the regulatory aspects that are needed to be taken care of? One is the issue of registration of the products in respective countries. So this is very important, that we need to register or notify the products so that they are exported or imported in these countries, exported from India. What happens that even if I give the example of Europe, European Union is a single entity, but still the rules allowed herbs are different in different countries. I give you an example. Terminalia Arjuna, which is a very common herb, very good for cardioprotective and all these things. It is allowed in Germany, but not allowed in Italy, neighboring countries, and rules are different. Ashwagandha, a very prominent herb of Ayurveda, is not allowed in several European countries, Russia, Latin America. They don't allow ashwagandha even. Even tulsi, which is called holy basil, is considered medicine, so they don't allow it as a part of herbal food supplement formulations. Very common herbs for liver, for example, kutki, Picorrhiza purua, a common herb used in Ayurveda. What they say that, oh, it is a banned herb, it is coming under CITES, C-I-T-E-S, this wildlife protection thing. So it is not allowed to be exported or imported, or otherwise you take a certification from the government. Though the rule is that if kutki or jatamansi, Nardosikis jatamansi, if they are used in multi-herbal preparation, in tablet form or in a formulation, then there is no ban according to CITES regulation also. Unless you are supplying this herb as a single herb, as a bulk herb, then it is come under wildlife activity protection. But the customs of different countries, they don't know the rules. What they do, they take a single paper, oh, this herb is coming under CITES, without reading other further details, and then they will create problems at the customs for the importers. So all these things also needs to be put forward to our respective governments and to the authorities, so that even the officials who are allowing these products for sales, for marketing in these countries needs to be informed. They should know the rules also. Other problems happens is about some countries are very strict when it comes to internal use of Ayurveda products. They will allow oils, they will allow creams, but not shampoos, soaps. But that is not exact Ayurveda. That is not the marma of Ayurveda. Unless you have, products taken internally inside, because that will only fix our whole physiology or mind-body coordination, what we call. So it is very important that we need to talk to the authorities to make these things liberal. That yes, the Ayurveda fraternity in India also has to be very careful when it comes to export of supplements or the products. They should not make huge claims. Even in India, sometimes the companies have a tendency to making big claims. They say, oh, we will treat cancer, we will treat this problem, that problem. Yes, but please do it only when you have proper research documentation in support of that. Otherwise, if you make the bigger claims, then what happens? As a result, the authorities immediately comes in, they stop the whole product, not only the product of that particular company, but for all the other companies, and they start taking Ayurvedic, the whole Ayurveda with a question mark. They start treating that. This is, of course, we can call it paranoid behavior, but this is what it is with the bureaucracy, with the authorities we have to face every day. For example, what happened, shipment from India which went to Europe, and these products, they were contaminated with for prevention of bacteria or microorganism in fruits, in vegetables, but somebody used them for Ayurveda products. I don't know, it's very strange. And then these authorities, and they realized that, oh, this is a danger. Yes, it is. And all the Ayurvedic products that are now importing to Europe has to have this certification from India for this ETO testing. And they basically gave an organization called Cefexil in Kolkata that they will give us a certificate before the shipment can reach Europe. In this whole period, and nobody was aware of that, many companies sent their shipments to Europe and they were returned back from Europe to India. Can you imagine the cost and how much problems the people faced just because of that? So this is also very important, and when we are talking about regulations, we have to be very specific, point by point, that what are the problems, what are the answers to those problems, and what, in the best possible scenario, can we achieve in our countries when we talk to the health regulatory authorities of those countries. This is very important. Specifically, when I talked about Europe, we need to sit together that please allow all the herbs. If it is allowed in Germany, if it is allowed in Czech Republic, it should be allowed in Italy and other countries, and Netherlands, in UK, in Norway, everywhere. You cannot have that, okay, you call it European Union, and you cannot have separate rules for different countries. So this is one voice from the Ayurvedic fraternity, both from India as well as from Europe, should go to the European Union that this is a wrong regulation and we should correct it. So labeling also is, of course, different in different countries. So our importers has to be knowledgeable about those labelings, and then they have to educate the manufacturers in India that how can we put this proper labeling so that it is allowed. Yes, we agree that it should be in the local language. It should follow all the regulatory means. But if there is huge variation and there is no proper dissemination of the knowledge, then definitely there is a possibility of committing a mistake on the label. And if you do a mistake, they block the product. So this information, I think, when we are talking in these Global Ayurveda Festival or any of these platforms like this, I think share some of these informations with our counterparts so that more and more people should be able to understand it. I can tell you, for all the manufacturers of India or all the importers anywhere in the world, that please do not hide any information just of the fear that you will face any competition or you will lose a market. There is a huge possibility. More and more people will use Ayurveda all over the globe, and more our businesses, our possibility of helping the society with this beautiful knowledge of Ayurveda will increase. Now, few more examples before I conclude my session. There is an increasing tendency that as of now, Ayurveda medicines should be recognized as medicines in Europe, because as of now, all these products that are exported in India, except for like Mauritius, probably Nepal, some maybe 1 or 2 countries in over the globe, but in 90 countries in the globe, it is going as herbal food supplements or dietary supplements. They don't go as Ayurvedic medicine per se, like what we call drugs in India. So there is a gap. What happens? That the authorities in India, when they give you free sale certificate or the license to manufacture and export these products, they write Ayurveda drugs, Ayurvedic medicines on the official documents. The governments who are importing, they want this certificate from India, from the licensing authorities of India, that how it can be used in their countries. So what the problem happens, that as soon as they see this is a drug, Ayurvedic drug or Ayurvedic medicine written on the official document of the government of India, immediately they will say, oh, this is not allowed here. We don't allow this. And it's the first blockade we need. So here also, with the Honorable Secretary Ayush, Rajesh Kotecha ji, he has been a big help. But since Ayurvedic licensing is a state subject in India, and every state government has a different rules also in India, so we have to work together with them, where he has sent a message to the respective governments that please, if a company or a manufacturer is exporting these products, it's better to write Ayurveda products or Ayurveda health subs on it, so that they don't face this blockade while they are exporting their products to any countries all over the world. So these are very important aspects that we have to keep in mind to solve these issues. First was the herbs, allowed herbs list that has to be unified, labeling procedure, quality control. This is very important, that need to be taken care of. Now we talk about research documentation and clinical trials. Yes, research documentation and clinical trials are very important. But what is happening all over the world? That clinical trials conducted in India are not accepted in most countries. They don't accept it. So what we have to do? We have to do clinical trials in their country. For example, if I am exporting to America, it has to be in an American hospital controlled by an American association. United States, that becomes prohibitively expensive for most people who are working in Ayurveda, because Ayurveda is a very incoming, I would say, science in the world. So for people who are into this business or into this trade or into this knowledge aspect, whether it is education, whether it is industry, they don't have that much of money. And even if you spend that much of money, then they don't get coming out of it. So this is again a situation which needs to be solved. And I would request our honorable ambassadors or the representatives of the different countries that this is here your intervention comes in, where you have to talk to your respective governments that we have to be little liberal about this aspect, that this is a very proven science in India. It has been thousands and thousands of years. People, and millions of people in India are using it very successfully without any side effects. So it is not something which needs to be proven again and again on modern parameters. So this is one aspect that we need to talk again in all these conferences. And then the thing for exporters and importers is about HS code. This is what is happening. This is a commerce, Ministry of Commerce of different countries has to be talking through. So what is happening? That if we are exporting an Ayurveda product, there is a HS code for every product, for export code. HS code exporting for Ayurveda products from India is different with the HS code of the importing company. And when there is a mismatch, then we have problems with the customs. And the customs really create problems, not only in terms of allowing the products inside, but also taxes. Sometimes they will put very heavy taxes on the Ayurveda products imported in those companies, or sometimes they just disallow it. So these are certain issues we also as an Ayurveda fraternity are going to raise with the Ministry of Commerce of India also. Vaidya Rajesh Kotecha, he has organized probably in the coming month a meeting with Secretary Commerce of India and Minister of Commerce of India, where we will be putting all these issues relating to export and import of these products with the government of India, so that these issues can be raised at the intergovernmental level with the respective countries. Because if we as private players talk about that, they don't take us seriously, But if the government of India will speak to them, then definitely I believe there will be some concrete results coming out of it. So these are, I think, the challenges and the issues that we at Ayurveda fraternity faces to about how we can allow Ayurveda products to be sold freely in the markets all over the globe, and how we can achieve and make Ayurveda as the mainstream. I always believe that please create more and more education, more and more information to all the people living in your countries. Do educate allopathic doctors, surgeons, health professionals, chiropractors, yoga therapists, chiropractors, whoever you meet, just tell them about Ayurveda, educate them about Ayurveda. And once they started recommending Ayurveda supplements, I can assure you that Ayurveda products will definitely have a clear edge in compared to any system of medicine that exists in the world. This is the truth. I think the world needs to be told the truth, and we as fraternity has a responsibility of it to telling it. And this global Ayurveda festival that we are organizing in Trivandrum, I think the purpose of these conferences are also so that we can disseminate this information more and more to people all over the globe. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, sir. It was indeed an eye-opening information. Hope we have a way forward and hope best for our Ayurvedic system of medicine. Thank you so much, sir. Now, I call upon Dr. Sinthaja Sosa, Researcher, Complementary Medicine, University of Latvia, to give over the speech. Thank you so much, ma'am.
Slides. Once again, forwards and backwards. Okay, okay. Thank you. Okay. Once again, respectable everyone present, also Vaidyas, all the guests from all over the world as well. My respect to all of you. I'm allopathic doctor of endocrinology and internal medicine. Nevertheless, I have been very, very respectful and interested in Ayurveda over 30 years now. And yes, so it came as a surprise that I have to speak on this session. So please bear with me. I'm not very well prepared because I was expecting talk tomorrow on diabetes. Anyhow, I will just say a few words which I put together in a few hours now. So, in Latvia is a tiny small country, very much north of India, over 5,000 kilometers west to north. The whole population of Latvia is only 2 million, which is like one city in India. Anyhow, historically, we are feel very connected with India because of our linguistic similarities to Sanskrit. So this is how Latvia looks like now. Climate is pretty much different, right? It's like Himalayas, but only half a year it's like Himalayas. So, Latvian people are really keen on Ayurveda, on yoga. Despite of small population, we have like 200 yoga schools, many Ayurveda practitioners. So the situation is very favorable. Nevertheless, when it comes to legal aspects, when it comes to recognizing Ayurveda, when it comes to recognizing Vaidyas, when it comes to recognizing Ayurvedic medicine, that is a different story. So, that is what we understood already more than 10 years back at the University of Latvia, that unless policymakers are educated, unless policymakers are explained what is Ayurveda, nothing is going to move forward. So we decided to start educational courses. Over 200 allopathic doctors have been educated now by collaboration with Ayush. Currently also we have Ayurvedic chair in Latvia, Shantala Priyadarshini. Before that, and also currently, we are very closely cooperating with Ayurveda pharmacy, so very grateful to all our teachers from India. And all allopathic doctors who have been educated in Ayurveda, we believe that is a force which is already influencing and gonna influence Ayurveda, our policymakers. Currently, status in Latvia is following. We can practice Ayurveda officially only if one has allopathic degree and one acting certificate in allopathic medicine. That situation with Ayurvedic Vaidyas practicing is not resolved. And also one could do therapies only if one has official certificate from Latvia, for example, as medical massage specialist. So, those are three levels which we see which are very important. It's education on university level, because there are many individual education programs going on parallel. Some medical doctors, some yoga schools, many are teaching Ayurveda, but specifically university education is government accredited course on Ayurveda. Higher? Like this? Okay. Okay, thank you. So, nevertheless, when we come and talk to Ministry of Health, when we talk to people who are in charge of making decisions, that point of which I have heard over years and years in India, which sounds completely okay in India, when one says, isn't 5,000 years enough of evidence? Actually, unfortunately, not in Europe. Not in most of countries in Europe. When we don't produce some research which makes allopathic people believe and understand efficacy and safety of Ayurveda, again, nothing moves forwards. So those aspects I would like to emphasize strongly. We need to educate allopathic people. It's not enough that people are favorable. We need to have decision makers educated. Then we need to have some research in Europe, not research in Latvia, research in Europe, which proves that Ayurvedic medicines are safe and efficient, are working for population in Europe. And yes, those aspects. That just few slides from different collaboration over years. This is our old historic building of University of Latvia. So we have an institute for Indic studies where we are teaching yoga, we are teaching Ayurveda, we are teaching Bharatanatyam, different Indian music, etc. So that is a part where we are working, and we are also collaborating, sending all of those allopathic doctors who have also been coming to India and studying parallel, getting more practical exposure to Ayurveda. And yes, we are collaborating closely with Ayush on different education programs. Just to mention a few, we are very grateful to Krishna Kumarji, of course. And so some aspects which I would like to mention are following. We are also trying to participate. For example, this is one example already since more than 10 years. Like, for example, Dr. Somit was asked to speak on International Allopathic Doctors Conference on Diabetes. So those kind of integrative approaches of educating people, allopathic doctors, are very, very important. So this is allopathic event where Dr. Somit spoke. And finishing, not wasting your time. So, a few more aspects I want to mention how far we have moved. Not anywhere close to Switzerland. We feel very humbled by our attempt, of course. Nevertheless, we don't lose enthusiasm. So we have worked and completed a small dictionary, like vocabulary on Ayurveda and yoga terms, which we did in collaboration with our Sanskrit scholars from India, Ayurvedic Vaidyas, where we explain both Ayurveda from traditional perspective and just parallels to that. We made our humble attempt to explain those terms from allopathic perspective. Only then it makes sense to people, it makes like more respect to people from Ayurvedic allopathic community. We are working on translation of books like Ashtanga Hridayam has been translated in Latvian language, and we're having ongoing several research projects like on diabetic wound healing, foot wound healing. Now we are having sponsored, actually, we won some sponsorship from support of European Union for metformin-induced side effects, how Ayurveda can help to reduce side effects of Western medicine like metformin, etc. So we are researching, going to research microbiome changes. So anyhow, we are really trying our best. We are only a few people who are very active, and and we would like to ask for all of your blessings to go on. And very last word on a slightly more negative note, yeah, there are minuses which were mentioned by previous speakers. In our country, we have very northern mentality, and northerners are not keen on cooperating. Most of yoga schools, most of practitioners, there is some aspect of competition there. Same goes for manufacturers, same goes for distributors of products, which are also only food supplements in Latvia. So those are aspects which we definitely need to work on to unite everyone on same platform and not to feel the competitive spirit, but rather cooperation spirit. And I thank you all, and see you again.
Thank you so much, ma'am. That was a really eye-opener. We are very glad that Ayurveda is working all over the world. Thank you so much, ma'am. Now, I call upon Dr. Saifullah Khalid Ahmadji, Senior In Charge of License and Medical Policy, Sharjah Health Authority. Come. Thank you, sir.
This was an attempt to wake you up. Okay. Cool. On the dais, off the dais, dignitaries. Okay. I am very glad and pleased to be here. Okay. Courtesy Dr. Suresh and my brother Dr. Hafeel, who is a senior practitioner in United Arab Emirates, a renowned Ayurveda physician, and carrying the light of Ayurveda very successfully in the other part of the world, which was not knowing what the Ayurveda or what the other traditional and complementary sciences were. I'm very glad to say that the Ayurveda, especially amongst the traditional complementary medicines, has progressed to a very satisfying level, in United Arab Emirates, but yet the doors are open. Yet the room is not filled up. And it's my personal request, in fact, to Government of India and especially the Ministry of Ayush to collaborate, as the other speakers pointed out very correctly, in the field of education, in the field of Ayurveda as an investment, not only in UAE, in fact, of course, I'm talking much of the UAE, but in the other part of the world, which has shown the great interest in our mother science. To speak a few words how the Ayurveda and the other traditional medicine originated and we started practicing in United Arab Emirates, which is in fact Dubai and Sharjah and the 7 Emirates. In fact, it is a federation of 7 states, Dubai, Sharjah, Abu Dhabi, Ajman. Those who have been there, they know about it. In 2002, it all started with a small unit where the few practitioners of Ayurveda, homeopathy, Unani, and Chinese medicine and were allowed to start practicing these sciences. And of course, Ayurveda was a part of it, and it started with it. Now, it's almost more than 630 practitioners of traditional and complementary medicine are practicing there, of which we can proudly say 209 are Ayurveda practitioners. It's still a very low number, but to say it is the biggest number of Ayurveda practitioners outside India. So it gives an immense pleasure, yet as I mentioned, the doors are open, the room is not filled up yet. We need to go beyond our limits to popularize, to familiarize these sciences in the very simplest terms, not using the hardest terminology as described in our text and all that, but to take this science in a very simple terminology to the other part of the world, and especially the Gulf region where the Ayurveda and the other sciences are blooming, and the acceptance and the tolerance level has gone up. So as I mentioned, in 2002 it started with the exams, and the exam is consisting of the two parts, the written and the oral. The written component is composed of the clinical medicine, which is a basic medicine devised from the Davidson and the Harrison. And in fact, the other part is the oral examination, which emphasizes on the Ayurveda or homeopathy or Unani, whichever science you belongs to. Now, recently there is a paradigm shift has happened. The WHO has taken a very keen interest and listed the UAE as one of the major, apart from India and China, one of the major contributor of the practitioners where these sciences are being established and or have been established or are being established, and Ayurveda is of course one of them. So to familiarize more or to get the more practitioners, to invite the more practitioners, the government has opened up the doors in a way that if I'm an Ayurveda or Unani or homeopathic practitioner, any part of the world I'm practicing and would like to have my practice in UAE as an Ayurveda profession, I don't need to travel to UAE. The exams are being conducted in India itself, or in any part of the world, which is conducted by a prometric company. So you can take the exams right here in India. And in fact, if I'm correct, there are around 18 centers in India itself. Of 2 are there in Trivandrum, one is in Trivandrum, and the other part of, I think so, it's in Cochin. So there are 2 centers which you can appear for exam here, right away here. You don't need to travel. Once you pass the exam, you are allowed to get to the licensing details. For example, if I pass my exam, then I would go to a healthcare facility and get my license there. as an Ayurveda practitioner. Yet the challenge remains of the scope of Ayurveda or the other traditional medicine, which is very roughly defined. We have been compressed, we have been advised not to do so many things. We have been asked to work under the influence and supervision of allopathic practitioners, but yet there are changes have taken place, and the government has relaxed the rules a little bit, and as I mentioned earlier, like my colleague Dr. Hafeel has been practicing very successfully, and there are several Ayurveda practitioners who have been practicing Ayurveda very successfully there. So similarly, it's a message for the new Ayurveda graduates. They can come and they can start practice. They can familiarize this science and take the Ayurveda to a very higher level. And in fact, there is another issue as mentioned by our esteemed speakers earlier about the Ayurveda products or the Ayurveda herbal medicines, Ayurveda medicines, which are still regarded as Ayurveda products, not as a medicines. So it's my humble request to the Ayurveda practitioners and the regulators to look into this aspect and communicate to the friendly countries where the Ayurveda or the other traditional medicine are established. So, and for the practitioner, as I mentioned, you don't need to travel to give the exams or write the exams there for the license. You can do right here sitting. In fact, so the rules have relaxed. The regulations have become very relaxed now. So you can start practicing right there itself by giving the exam, by sitting here in your own country. You don't need to travel. And the other pharmaceutical companies, they can register their products. The registration has become easy. It's not like how it used to be 10 years before, where to register a product used to take not less than 1 year for a company. Now within 3 months, the government has relaxed the rules and has come out with a very open policy, single window policy, so that you can register, the companies can register their products very easily over there. So with all these words, I finished. I take a leave. I don't want to take much more time. I know the people are hungry. They just want to leave and go. But yet my message is very clear and very loud. I hope that this message reaches the Ministry of Ayush, that we do need your support. We do need your advice. And as for the classification, to make it more easier, to make them understand what the Ayurveda and the other traditional medicine can do it. And because it's the era of an integrative medicine, it's no science can claim that we are perfect. Of course, Ayurveda has an upper edge, no doubt about it, in certain diseases, in certain lifestyle diseases and other neurological disorders or the malignancies and all that, where it has taken a lead. But yet we need to define a simpler term to the world, and our rules and regulation and in the Indian Ayurveda Pharmacopoeia needs to be published in other languages, so that, for example, like how the Latvia is struggling and how the Switzerland is struggling. Similarly, in UAE also has its own limitations to understand what the Ayurveda is there. So my humble request is for the Ayurveda practitioners to come openly and to come out of their shell and start practicing Ayurveda there. Now, because you see, the Saudi Arabia itself is also opening the door. Very recently I had a meeting with the Ministry of Health, Saudi Arabia, where they said we are ready to open and we have already established the traditional and complementary medicine unit over there, and they are starting licensing the Ayurveda and homeopathy and Unani over there. So take a chance. You don't need to leave your country, as I mentioned, to write for the exams, as it used to be earlier 20 years back, or where there are no medicines to prescribe. There are some companies which have taken the lead, like Himalaya and Dabur, to establish their products over there, to register their products. So now there are certain number of products which are available, but yet there is a wide scope. And as for the education side also, there are no colleges over there which is teaching the Ayurveda or other traditional medicine. There are 7 medical colleges, 9 nursing colleges, 7 pharmaceutical colleges, but there is no college which is imparting education in Ayurveda. So there are certain institutes, major institutes, which are, or the Central Council of Research in Ayurveda Medicine or the Ministry of Ayush can establish the chairs with the help of the integration of the government of UAE in the universities over there to popularize the Ayurveda. So this is my very humble request and suggestion that please take up this up to the authorities. Okay. So because this is the era of integration, this is the era of integrative medicine. Okay, let us integrate with Ayurveda, with the other sciences to save the humanity. Thank you. Thanks a lot for inviting. Thank you very much for listening. Thanks a lot.
Thank you so much, sir. As we all know, Dubai is a second home for we all Keralites. So it was an eye-opening that you are giving our travel and hope for we all practitioners. Thank you so much, sir. Now, I call upon Dr. Sial Kumar, HOD, Traditional Indian Medicine from Germany, to give over the speech.
Good morning to all. Thank you, JF, for inviting me for such a wonderful program. I'm waiting for my presentation. So I'm basically from Kerala. I did my Ayurvedic education BMS and MD, and then I happened to go to Germany. And it was not so easy when you go from India to different countries, especially European countries, with Ayurveda, a lot of struggles. So I am working in a hospital for integrative medicine in the University Hospital Duisburg-Essen, 15 years now. And integrating Ayurveda in a modern hospital is not so easy. So for 15 years, and I don't want to put much about the regulations, because regulations are always not a friendly stuff, no. But I would like to know. I would like to inform you how we went, even though there are a lot of regulations and all. I would like to inform you what was the journey. So this is our structure. We do have many hospitals. We do have 3 hospitals. This is one of our academic hospitals, where mostly the surgical departments are there. And this is another hospital where orthopedics and all other departments are there. And this is the hospital where I work. Hospital for Integrative Medicine. It's a big department for integrative medicine and natural medicine, and also there are other departments like pulmonology, psychiatry, and etc. So here, our department for Ayurvedic medicine started 15 years, and this is our structure. We do have modern medicine, and then we do have Chinese medicine. Chinese medicine, where it was almost 25 years there, and it was, for me, it was very easy to integrate Ayurveda easily because of the history of Chinese medicine. Because Chinese medicine also follow kind of Ayurvedic methods. And then we do have mind-body medicine. And when we started our department of Ayurveda, we made it like traditional Indian medicine. Because in Europe, especially in Germany, the word Ayurveda, it's horrible. Because Ayurveda, it was misused. Many people think you do Ayurveda just putting oil or massage. So because of that, to give a seriousness, we made our department traditional Indian medicine. So that's our activities. We do have patient management, research, education, publication, and cooperations and MOUs. This is our outpatient department. In our outpatient department, we work with many doctors, modern doctors, and also doctors for complementary medicine, doctors for natural medicine, European natural medicine, and Chinese medicine. We do have cooperation with Chinese universities, and it was very interesting for me to work with Chinese colleagues because some of the plants we use in Ayurveda is also similar in Chinese medicine. So we do interact intensively. And this is our inpatient department. We do have IP of 60 bed, and where we treat integratively. And for Ayurveda, we have exclusive 5 to 6 beds where patients come exclusive for Ayurveda. Our concept is thus, we discuss when a patient is coming, we discuss together, and we think if the patient should be given exclusive Ayurvedic treatments, diseases like rheumatoid arthritis, MS, so autoimmune diseases, we do exclusive Ayurvedic treatment for 2 to 3 weeks with Panchakarma and all. In other cases, they do Chinese medicine and maybe internal medicine they send to Ayurveda, or I start with internal medication, diet advice, and then Chinese doctors, they do acupuncture. So these are our treatment rooms. We do follow the concept of Kerala traditional Ayurveda. We do have the medicines, everything from here. Like the chair was talking, we do have a lot of issues. You know, the medicine is a big issue. Without medicine, it's not possible to practice. That was the main problem. When I went to Germany, I was not allowed to practice. No, without allowing, it's difficult. So I had to go through, the only option was Heilpraktiker or doctor. Heilpraktiker is a course where you can learn complementary medicine, and this is in German language. So you have to go for German course, and then you have to go for this complementary medical course, and you have to pass the exam. It's a state exam, and then you are allowed to practice complementary medicine. So these are the diseases patients, or normally what we do. Gastrointestinal problems, there are a lot of issues, patients. Then musculoskeletal, psychology, gynecology, metabolic diseases, dermatological diseases, neurology, side effects of chemotherapy. That's now Germany is a country, high-tech medicine. They do have sophisticated operation technique and all for cancer patients. So after that, what we do is to tackle the after effect of chemotherapy. They come to Ayurvedic treatments. Patients coming to Ayurveda, when you look initially, is always problem with the gastrointestinal. Whatever it may be the disease, it's neurological or migraine or musculoskeletal. Once you look for the gastrointestinal tract, it was horrible. So we do start from that. Germany having a lot of problems. Now we do have third German is it's overweight, and Germans consume a lot of meat, especially red meat like sausage and all. So this is also, there was a study cause of cancer. So it was also mentioned, WHO experts, that the leading cause for cancer is using red meat. Another serious issue when a patient is coming is they are always taking a lot of medications. So they will be having a cortisone or MTX or tablets for pain. So this is also a big issue, not only for Ayurvedic practitioners, also for other. So we have to, first we have to taper the tablets, and then we have to start with Ayurvedic serious medication. So the pharma industry, you may be knowing, Germany is a country where a lot of pharma industry. Because of the pharma industry, the many complementary medical medicines, natural medicines, having a lot of issues, especially also for Ayurveda. In Germany, we do have European herbal medicine, and the regulations in Germany is also getting worse, that even the local herbs, they are also planning to ban it in medical practice. When we look at the patients who are coming to us, they are extreme now oriented in bio is supposed to be a soft in West. So it was always like that. When I reached there, it's always like a wave. They start with dadima. No, it was a superfood dadima. You take everybody dadima and fine. No, then it went, and then came moringa, and it was coming down, and then now is kurkuma, because there was a study kurkuma is good for cancer. So even you can see this is a shower gel with kurkuma. Okay. So it's always like that. No? Now this kurkuma is also getting down. Now it's coming ashwagandha. Even in bread they mix kurkuma, turmeric. And this is an example of a patient who came after my consultation. So I was asking, what are the medicines you are taking? She told, like, I do have some medication, but I do take a lot of food supplements. And this was the list of the food supplements. More than 25 food supplements she is taking. So extreme is the patients in Germany. So we have to regulate all those things. Then trying to give Ayurvedic medications. So here starts the problem, because there was an issue, Ayurvedic medicine coming from Sri Lanka. This guy came in Astablad. Astablad is the magazine twice in a year for the doctors. So it was mentioned that one of the doctors gave Ayurvedic medication to the patient, and she got a severe problem. And it came, and that was a lot of inquiry because of the university hospital. I should be responsible to answer all those questions. It was not so easy. And the research part, we start, we do have a big research center, and we started with the Ayurvedic research. So we first started with the Pindasveda for low back pain, and then it was only external because it's very difficult to give any internal medication. And then we switched to internal medication for IBS. So our thought was first we'll make some internal medication from our classical preparations, but it was not possible because the ethic committee, they told you are not allowed with the plants which is not registered in European Union and also, especially also in Germany. The problem is that European Union got regulations, and each country in Europe, Germany, Italy, France, they got their own. For example, like heavy metal contents, the European Union limitations are different than in German limitations. So it is not so easy. And what we did, we changed our strategy. What we are doing now is we are focusing our clinical studies in India, especially in Kerala. So we conduct a clinical study for psoriasis in 2019 in collaboration with PNNM Ayurveda College, Shornoor. So the study is almost over. Our aim is we collect the data, we will make the statistics there, and then we will collectively publish it. We do have a MOU with the Kerala University of Health Sciences, and we are planning the next study on rheumatoid arthritis. Part of our activity is with education. Now we give complement the integrative medicine scene. We give lectures to our medical students in our university, and in that twice in a year I have to deliver Ayurvedic classes to the medical students. Apart from that, we do conduct a 3 years exclusive Ayurvedic course for doctors, already finished doctors. When they are interested to come to Ayurveda or they want to practice Ayurveda, they can join our Ayurvedic course. It's a 3 years course. 1.5 years is in our university. And for that, we do have a cooperation with Kottakkal Ayurveda College. And the students come there for 40 days and get the clinical coaching. And so that's the setup what we are doing. So we do have a lot of cooperation with India. And we have a lot of publication, almost more than 25 publications we did in many areas. Because in Germany, if you want Ayurveda in forward with real medical scene, we have to make a lot of publications. So we are trying always to do a lot of publications in many medical journals. we do have a Ayurvedic organization for doctors, and we conduct CME programs. Before COVID, we were inviting professors from many Ayurvedic colleges, and now, because of the online possibility, we do online seminars. And we are also active in CAM seminars, complementary and integrative medicine conferences. They invite us for how we integrate, not only for Ayurveda, also for other medicines, Chinese medicine, but from my side, I go for representing Ayurvedic medicine. And very interesting to see that also the TV people, they are also interested to see how the complementary medicine structure is happening, or integrative medicine, and especially how the Ayurveda is. So because of that, many documentaries are coming in many serious TV programs about Ayurveda. So I was seeing this article, was shocked to see from India, motherland of Ayurveda, somebody writing that blue tea should be banned, and thanks Gigi for responding immediately for that, because we people in Germany working in integrative medicine hospital, we should laugh to see this such a horrifying article. This is a interesting thing. The third leading cause for death in US is the prescription of medicines. And this is another one from Harvard University. You can see that. New prescription pens, normally when a new drug is developing, they are not advised initially to write because they are looking around and then only they are trying to give the patients. And they are also mentioning that, and we Ayurvedic medicine having a 3,000 years of experience, and then they are asking for evidence-based. It's right, we have to prove, we have to make the evidence. That's the main point. The co-speaker was also informing us. We have to make the evidence and not sitting like, okay, there was the information in Ashtanga Hridaya or Charaka, yes, but for the modern world, we have to give the evidence. This also came in JAMA, Journal of American Medical Association. The fourth leading cause of death in USA is prescription of drugs. Unfortunately, the guy who was writing about Guluchi, maybe not knowing about that. Sorry for that. So, this was a nutshell what we did in our university hospital. And I would like to tell you that it was not so easy. It was a struggle. We have to, each and everything, for example, I just tell you a small example. For when you're doing the Panchakarma, we do 2 to 3 weeks of Panchakarma, so we have to warm the oil, okay? So when we warm the oil, if the temperature is a little bit higher and if the smoke is a little bit high, then immediately the alarm starts ringing. So these are areas where when we start practicing Ayurveda in modern hospitals, especially in Europe and America, things, and normally what they tell, oh, this is not possible, you have to close down your Ayurvedic department. But thanks for the professors and colleagues who supported me intensively to solve all those issues. Another example is getting the steam chamber. We got the steam chamber from India, and the steam box and the chamber, and the steam chamber was not allowed because there is no certificate for using it in European Union. So it was also a big struggle, and what we did, we kept the steam box, and we took the steam chamber from Austria. There was a steam chamber which is suiting to this steam box. So these are the things. It takes a lot of time, lot of research, how to integrate in a modern hospital and a modern world. So it is possible, but there is a big struggle, and the struggle is still there. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Really appreciate your great work and effort in Germany to make Ayurveda the system of medicine. Thank you so much, sir. Now I call upon Dr. Dilip Ghosh, the NutriConnect from Australia. Thank you, sir.
Good day, everyone. I don't know whether I am the last speaker before your lunch. Anyway, so I am talking about because the globalization of Ayurveda, that depends on the regulation. This is one of the component. And I am speaking around the world on the how to globalize Ayurveda, the challenges and opportunities also. So I will touch a little bit, but I will tell a little bit about the Australian, New Zealand regulation on complementary medicine. Could you please upload my slides? So, as you see, the very mainstream concept, one disease, one target, one drug. That is the concept of allopathic medicine. That is not working today. Several reasons. One of the most reason, because most of the disease like diabetes, cancer, obesity, these are multi-gene controlled disease. That means some disease are more than 90 genes are involved. So to control a particular disease, you need to control several metabolic pathways. And with one particular molecule that is present in the pharmaceutical, so that is not possible. So that evidence-based nutraceutical or complementary medicine or natural medicine, that is the answer, that is the future of our healthcare system. So, next one. Oh, sorry, we have this one. So the few disclosure. The first one, I am not an Ayurvedic practitioner, but I have been involved with natural medicine research, commercialization, and also some policy matter also. So I am a right person to talk here, I can guarantee you. So these are the book I have been working for last few years. So my current role is to popularize these traditional medicine, whether it is in India or in overseas. So I am speaking around the world and I am publishing big books under CRC Press, academic press, at least 1 to 2 books every year. You can see these are just for your information. These are all related to nutraceutical, complementary medicine, natural medicine. So this is from CRC Press. This is a 600 pages book. You can consult later. This book I published last year. That is, I think, it is not my word. These are all expert words. This is the most authentic book on fenugreek. We tried to show how the fenugreek started its journey as a traditional complementary medicine, but it is ended up today as a general stream medicine also. So this is a book we are working on Ministry of Ayush, All India Institute of Ayurveda, and our center in Western Sydney University, the traditional complementary and integrative medicine for neurocognition. So this one, if anybody interested, we just started this project on ashwagandha, potential drug for candidate from ancient Ayurvedic remedies. So we already got 30 to 35 chapters, but if you are still interested, you can still contribute. Definitely. I will show you a few slides how Ayurveda grow. But as you know, a few previous speaker mentioned that grow not always linked to the Ayurvedic medicine. It is their ingredients or food ingredients, that sort of area. But still, Ayurveda is growing phenomenally. So, you know, this is the one slide. Most of the people, they mention this one. So far, 16 countries, Ayurveda of Hungary, Switzerland, Romania, Latvia, Serbia, Slovenia country, but most of the country either from Asian, South Asian, and few from Arab or Gulf countries. But that list is growing, but this is one of the most challenging area to recognize Ayurveda as a separate system of medicine. If you see this one, maybe I missed a few slides. Yes, 44 to 50% growth of Ayurvedic ingredients or medicine export to the Western country. That's true. During COVID and after COVID. If you see the Mr. Narendra Modi ji, he mentioned, Ayush startup 40,000 active MSME in India now. Growth 20,000 crore rupees to 1.5 lakhs crore rupees. That means 7-time increase of revenue in 7 years. That's phenomenal. Global market is $120 billion. That not only for the Ayurvedic medicine, but it's a herbal medicine market also. This is one of the very important area. It is the Global Center for Traditional Medicine. 172 countries are involved here. That is based in Jamnagar. It was inaugurated last year by Dr. Tedros and Mr. Modi and the Mauritius Prime Minister also. And $282 million investment from India as a seed money. Can you imagine? 282 million US dollar. That is India government invested for this big project. And that is the prototype of the new campus. It will be done by next 3 years. So, what are the benefits for the Indian Ayush system? To position Ayush system across the globe, because the 172 countries are involved here, to provide leadership in this area, to ensure quality, safety, efficacy, accessibility, rational use of traditional medicine. Which one is lacking in the Western world? That is the norm, standard and guideline. That is not present in most of the country. So we need to develop these standard norms and guidelines around the world. First WHO Traditional Medicine Global Summit, that means in conference, the Congress that happened few months before in August in Gujarat, Gandhinagar. And I think this is one of the most recent significant development, that is in G20 declaration. As you know, that integration of the evidence-based traditional medicine practice, that is mentioned into G20 declaration. That is a big development or significance in traditional medicine area. So market dynamics, as I said, because I am in commercial area, the herbal medicine will be growth $120 billion by 2023 this year. Indian market, Indian domestic market, not very big. That is only 50 billion Indian rupees, that is $660 million. But the growth is very impressive. That is 14% annual growth. That is the Indian market. The Ayush product are exported to more than 100 foreign countries, either as medicine or as supplement. So what are the possible important touch for this growth? I see, if you see the global market, most of the traditional medicine, these are selling as a dosage format, either in a capsule, either in a tablet or in a sachet. So that means the consumer can feel it is a pharmaceutical product. So that means the feeling of the consumer, this is important. Evidence-based approach. Most Indian company, I think Dr. Nitin already mentioned that one, Indian company, but it is not 1, 2, it is more than 100 Indian companies. They are investing for clinical trial, that is also double-blinded placebo-controlled trial, to enter into the global market. This is a very significant change. Attitude difference. Previously, if you go to the pharmaceutical company, it's Ayurveda, no, but that attitude change. It is not only doctors, the consumers, they are also trust on Ayurvedic product. And the policymakers, regulators, they are also trust on thee. And the government has huge initiative, ministry, CSIR, Niti Aayog, they are investing a lot of time, a lot of energy, a lot of money in this area. So what are the challenges? You all know, I am not going detail in this area. The pre-globalization area, that is the acceptability and adaptability. Acceptability by doctors, acceptability by the consumers also. Adaptability. You launch few Ayurvedic products, that doesn't mean it will adapt to the local environment. Post-globalization, managing knowledge. The previous speaker mentioned in, I think, Germany, you have 220 or somebody mentioned. In UAE, I think. Like Australia also, we have 275 Ayurvedic practitioners also, but these are not enough to manage this market. Integration is needed. You know, this old Sanskrit savvy scholar, that is the big tail here. So we need to change our attitude also. So the integration with the other medicinal system is very important, and we have to survive the competition also. So these are the WHO mentioned, these are the difficulties of globalization of traditional medicine. I am not going in detail. You can read for a few seconds, then I am going to the next slide. Acceptability, adaptability, and unavailability of the good quality raw materials. If you see, this is Australian, I will show you two examples from 12 years before example and these few months before example. 12 months before, a group of doctors, 340 some doctors, they are called the Friends of Science in Medicine. They started assaulting on the traditional medicine. And they recognized or they stamped as a pseudo-science. And few universities, they have some course on the traditional medicine, they stopped. But after 12 years, you can see this is the recent, because from our university, Western Sydney University, we have a big center, National Institute of Complementary Medicine. We signed a MOU with Ministry of Ayush for a Ayurvedic chair. And there, that chair will start next 2 weeks' time, because all this government delay also. But that Guardian, the UK-based newspaper, and their partner newspaper in Australia also, the Canberra Times, they published these two nasty publications. Expert voice concern about university links to the Indian Health Ministry. Selling snake oil. You know, the Guardian, one of the reputed publication in UK, they recognized the Ministry of Ayush, that is the Ayurveda, as a selling snake oils. You have some defect also, because few years back during COVID, some company they claim they can cure COVID also. I think they mentioned that things in the newspaper. But I think this is a colonial mindset. This British newspaper, if you see, in India also, every day you can see one publication that is attacking Ayurveda. And these are all financed and sponsored by the big pharmaceutical company. So this is common in India, but this is growing in, why? Because Ayurveda's growth in the Western world is phenomenal. That's why they want to stop this one. So they couldn't stop the IT growth. As you see, Mr. Modi mentioned, I think 2 or 3 days before, the Ayurveda will be the next IT for India. So they try to stop this from now. Australian perspective, I am going very quickly. It's a 26 million people and maybe 7 million people in New Zealand.